the guy Paul Hollywood had a what do you call it? A recipe that I saw, and I was like, you know what? It looks pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. So I was like, okay, let me do it. I'm gonna try it. I have some blueberries, so I'm gonna make some blueberry muffins. I don't know. It seems pretty easy, but then again, bread seemed pretty easy, and it took a while for this to come around, really. But you're watching in continuity. This is literally just took the bread. The bread is like right there. I, I just took it out of the oven. 350 grams. Wow. Okay. I thought maybe it was like a 6 tablespoons, but like one stick is 112. This thing is asking for 350 grams. Ooh. It's like, that's a lot of butter. Are we sure that's the right thing? Because this recipe is calling for 350 grams of unsalted butter. I thought it was like a stick at the most, but we're talking 3 sticks is 327 grams. So I only need like, that's probably where the whole, 2 tablespoons is. Wow, that's crazy. We'll see how this comes out. Paul Hollywood, the guy from Great British Bake Show, this is his recipe from his YouTube page. So it seemed pretty straightforward, but I'm like already like in a daze from how much butter is in this thing. So I would assume it's gonna taste good, hopefully, if I can get there, if it tastes good. But man, I thought maybe, oh, I can make a couple of them. It's like, no, I don't have any more unsalted butter. That's all I had. So, what are we doing here? 550 grams of, let me get this out of here. Thankfully, I just cleaned my counter. I just Clorox wiped it, so that's why I have everything out and I'm not worried. I make sure and cleaned it really good because I don't want to when I'm making the bread, I don't want to have something screw up. And anyway, 550 grams of flour. Oops. I used 700 grams this morning to make the bread. So that's a lot of flour today. Try to do the math in my head. It's over 1,000 grams. And it's not a whole lot. So where's my little, these are just teaspoons, right? 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking powder. So 1 TSP. This is 1. So this thing is pretty straightforward. Mixing it together is going to be a bit of a thing, but it shouldn't be too bad. I'm guessing I can. I don't know. He didn't mention if it was room temperature. I would assume. Well, if you want it diced, I guess it has to be cold like this. But yeah, he kind of had it in little cubes. I'm literally, because I was looking at the video again and I wanted to check the recipe. Man, I barely made a dent. I felt like it took too long to cut this butter up. Like 2.5 sticks to go. Okay. I was looking at this and I was like, okay, I have these blueberries. I bought them. I got them on Monday. They're still okay, but I don't think. Well, waiting another day. Look at how they're stacking up. My goodness. Oh, wow. I got that on camera. That's funny. If I wanted to do that, if that were like some sort of a parlor trick, you know it wouldn't work. Whew. If that door just magically closes on its own, I have a ghost, but I don't think I'm that lucky. My wife wouldn't like it, but I think it would be funny to have a ghost. I'm not calling on a ghost to come, because my wife will get real mad. But anyway, let's see if I can stack the butter again. It's just getting to that room temperature. I want to say he cut it more, but then that's even more. It might be better. Maybe I'll just cut it like I cut the dog food. The dog has its own knife and its own cutting board, and their own cutting board, I should say. All right. The idea here is to coat the butter and then start breaking it down because we want to make it into a paste, basically. That if you give me directions, I can get you there. You know, and that's what a recipe is, right? I kind of know what I'm looking for. I think this is just starting to get shaggy, which is good. It's starting to turn a corner. It's starting to get a little bit, it's starting to stick together. All right, we're getting there. Because that's the one thing he mentioned, was if you'll start seeing it stick together. So now I just have to make sure all of the flour is incorporated, because there's plenty of butter. Yeah, it's all sticking together like a pad. Look at that, how well you can see it. It's not goopy because the butter is still pretty cold. Like, this is funny because this is cold, and typically when I'm making bread, I'll warm up the water. The water to like when I do the auto lease, probably like 99 or so. It's just a bit warm, whereas this is like cold. Not ice cold, but like just enough so you notice it. Like it's below the temperature of my skin. I forgot about the eggs.
The butter and the flour coming together, so it looks like the top, it looks like a crumble on the top of a good crumble. You don't want to feel any big lumps in there. Get right underneath down to the bottom, turn it over. Because actually, you know when you've done it, when you crush it together, it starts to hold like that. See? Crush it together, it holds, and it crumbles back again. I've got some vanilla extract I'm going to add to this for a little bit of flavour. Just a little drops. Crack a couple of eggs in there as well.
Okay, so now we're at this state. We're going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I feel like I'm racing, but I'm like, I think this might be okay. So I'm going to do that, and I need to crack 2 eggs in it. I don't know if anything would be different if you used some sort of an egg substitute, but then you'd have to use a butter substitute too, I guess, huh? These guys are okay. All right, so we got 2 eggs. So we don't put the milk in yet, but we put in 2 eggs. I figured that's the one thing I can do. Maybe you're only allotted one thing. Mine is I've learned, well, and that's because I learned it too. I've learned, oh, these eggs are cold. There we it goes. It's starting to change the composition already. That's fascinating. So, I forgot what I was talking about, but these eggs are cold. Maybe I should have left them out for like 15 minutes or even. Anyway, this is composition is changing. I think we're in a good place. But yeah, I gotta mix in all of this fluid.
Starts off with a little bit of milk.
So I need
Slacken it off.
200 ml total of milk. So that's, you don't need to put the whole thing in, so just put it in little by little. Because that's what Paul Holly would do. I'm talking like I know what I'm doing, right? But what I'm literally watching, I don't know, maybe I'll leave that in. I'm literally watching the video. I work a lot I work a lot better if you show me. I'm a very much a visual learner, whatever that means. Yeah, it's coming together like a dough. That's good. I wonder if this is 2%. This is skim milk. I I forgot to I forgot to get it, and then my wife put in she went and got more. She went to the grocery store, and I forgot to tell her to get me this. So I think skim milk would be okay. I don't know if I would need more, need less. But let's see what she's.
At the moment, it's quite dry.
Yeah, it's still dry.
See how dry it is? It's scone-like almost. But you want to add a little bit more milk to slacken that off, so it's a bit smoother all the way around. Okay, with this mixture, you carry on mixing it together. Start getting a little bit more aggressive with it. Fold it underneath. See how soft it's gone? It looks a bit short as well. See, it looks all bitty and mottled, which is fine.
So we're kind of looking to soften this up. It's still very, very pasty. Paste-like, not the nipple covering. More paste-like still. So want to make it almost the opposite of how we start making bread. It's really gooey, and then you want to dry it like this. And this is dry, and you want to make it gooey. That's always the way, right? Because how he's showing is like he's taking a bit and he's putting it in there. So I think this is it. Because this is like not necessarily, but like it's not dry, but it's not very it's not 100% like liquid, I guess, right? Maybe if I spin this a little bit more. One thing I messed up on is I should have just stood up the cupcake or the muffin tin. I should have just stood it up already and had it ready, so I could just go from this straight into them instead of having to stop. Especially my hands are like, and they're gonna get dirty again, but I don't want to get everything covered in butter, you know. If this works out, I have these little skulls, skull plates my wife bought me last Halloween. If this works okay, I'm gonna do it in the tin like they do, but just to try them out. But if I could get those, if I could get that, and they're not very big, so maybe I would have to get really small blueberries, but maybe that would work. All right, that'd be great. This is gonna work out, I think. It doesn't say the temperature. Come on, dude. Somebody in the comments, please. So I'm not gonna comment on this. Imagine me commenting on like an 8-month-old video. You didn't say temperature. I did not put any sugar in this. Oh my goodness. How did I miss this sugar? Oh no. That's why I needed this out. How in the world did I forget that? I just completely overlooked it. That would have been an absolute disaster. So I think we're good on milk. And then we need 230 grams. It just dawned on me. I was like, I felt like there's something missing too. It just, you get that vibe, right? But man, okay, that would have been an absolute disaster. Holy crap, I just barely have enough sugar. My goodness. Did I not? Yeah, I know I put that and that and that, yeah. Okay, my goodness. This is just like, okay, so now I have this ready. I should spray them with Pam too, right? Okay. That is a lot of everything. My goodness. I didn't realize it was that, the proportions. I looked at it and I just focused on having the right ingredients. And I figured it wasn't going to be a whole lot. And I was thinking that the grams of butter was like not as much as I thought. Like it was like a stick and a half. I didn't realize it was like almost the box. It's fine. These I can always rinse off. These are mine anyway. It's not like. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little. See, these are the jumbos, and I don't know. That might work. I might run out of blueberries because the other part is the jumbos. There aren't as many, of course, because they're bigger. So we can just take up the same amount of space. It's crazy. Man, we might actually get away with this one, folks. All this means is that my mom will watch this video and say, when are you making me blueberry muffins? Because my mom likes blueberries, my dad does too. So, and then I'm going to have to make some, like I was already telling Eleni, I know her dad likes blueberry muffins too. I was like, well, you can take some to him. I'll just have I want 4, and then that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's enough. Everybody can try one. Okay. Oven's coming up. I have a couple blueberries left. I will give them a good home. And wow, I think we made it, folks. It looked really straightforward, but I know it's never it's like a feel thing. It's not really a precise thing. That's why I like grilling, because I just go by temperature and that's it. But oven is at 425. I didn't have all of them, but at least if I have an empty one, I can put my thumb there. It makes it easy. Said 20 to 25 minutes. Set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, counting down.
So, I feel good about it. So I just want to, hopefully we'll get there. Okay, I shot in the dark, and I overshot it. Everything's still salvageable, but it was 320 from what I thought 425. Man, it took me a few minutes. I wish I had just stopped everything and looked at that, but I think we're still okay. All right. They look like blueberry muffins with a lot of blueberries. Not a lot of them. It oozed everywhere and everything. But the color looks right. Probably Holly would say a little bit of brown on everybody. Everything looks okay. I did the toothpick test and they came out clean on a few of them. So I think we're set. Now we just got to let them cool. But they smell really good. If it smells good, then it tastes good. I think I forgot who says that, but I think we're in good shape. They smell really good. I just gotta let them cool, and man, I think we did it. All right. They smell good. I think they're a little bit light. Well, it's got a coating on it, but he wanted it to have it like really dark, but I don't know. I think I need to get the temperature right if I'm going to do it again. They smell good. Tastes like a butter cookie. It's 3.5 bars or 3.5 sticks of butter. I love butter cookies. I think it still needs to cool off a little bit. I think it's like a tiny bit damp. Right? That's just like that. They call it like bake sweat or something like that. I remember reading it. They're decadent. They're not light, meaning they don't feel like that. This feels like, wow. It's delicious, but it's decadent. So, it's pretty straightforward. It worked out well. Oh, my mouthful. Came out well. Tastes good. Good texture. It looks like a muffin on the inside. These are good blueberries, but I'd like a little bit smaller, so I could put more. This didn't have as many because they're spread out because they're so big. But wow, that's it's really great. Got something done today. Got something really interesting done. Added a blueberry muffin to the baking mix. This is not something I would do all the time. I was hoping it. I don't know why I was like, oh, this maybe is something I'll do like a couple times a month. Maybe no. This is like special occasion. Taking it to someone or something like that. Oh, I made you some blueberry muffins. That type of deal. Christmas. I'm thinking, ooh, Christmas. I'll make a couple of batches of these for everybody. But delicious.